Gospel. The mind-blowing teaching of St. Paul that is hard to understand. 2 Peter 3 verse 16. As also in all his epistles, speaking in them of these things, in which are some things hard to be understood, which they that are unlearned and unstable wrest, as they do also the other scriptures, unto their own destruction. I know, there's one religious sect today that hates St. Paul. Do you know why? Because the teaching of St. Paul is mind-blowing, as it is hard to understand. They cannot understand the real meaning of being followers of Christ. They think that Paul's teaching is contrary to the Bible itself. But wait, if you hate St. Paul, for no reason at all, you hated first Jesus Christ, who ordained Saul of Tarsus to be the apostle to the Gentile nations. Jesus appointed Saul, now St. Paul, as the light of the Gentile nations, Acts 13 verse 47, meaning he is going to bring the gospel to all the nations outside Jerusalem. Jesus Christ did ordain him. Here are the verses that St. Paul is the apostle to the Gentile nations. Galatians 1 verses 15 to 16, Galatians 9 verses 13 to 19, Acts 22 verses 6 to 16, Acts 26 verses 12 to 18, 1 Corinthians 9 verse 1, Galatians 2 verse 9, Acts 22 verse 21, Romans 15 verses 18 to 21, 2 Corinthians 10 verses 13 to 16, Ephesians 3 verses 7 to 9, 1 Corinthians 9 verse 16, and 77 Bible verses inclusive. Now, why do they hate St. Paul? If they hated St. Paul, it was Jesus Christ that you hated most, because what St. Paul wrote was the commandment of the Lord. Read it here, 1 Corinthians 14 verse 37, if any man thinks himself to be a prophet, or spiritual, let him acknowledge that the things that I write unto you are the commandments of the Lord. Ridiculously, they hated the writing of St. Paul because they found it hard to understand those. They have been blinded by the god of this world. Notice that the word God that starts in small letters, it means Satan, so that the glorious gospel of Christ, who is the image of God, will not shine on them. Here is the verse, 2 Corinthians 4 verse 4, in whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believed not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Christ, who is the image of God, should shine unto them. Yes, you heard it right, they did not understand the writing of St. Paul. Evidently, like me, I got puzzled the way St. Paul wrote it. But after quite some times, by reading it repeatedly, I found out how brilliant St. Paul was. The following texts below written by St. Paul made my mind blown away. 1. That you will be cut off from our Lord Jesus Christ if you try to be justified by the law, Galatians 5 verse 4. 2. St. Paul was not under the law but to Christ, 1 Corinthians 9 verse 21. 3. We are not under the law or the schoolmaster, Galatians 3 verse 24 and 25. 4. That we are not under the law, Romans 6 verse 15. 5. Jesus was born under the law to save or to redeem those that were under it, Galatians 4 verses 4 to 5. 6. That we will become children of God by faith in Jesus and not by the law, of course, Galatians 3 verses 26 to 28. 7. Jesus surely made a better testament, Hebrews 7 verse 22. 8. Jesus Christ is greater than Moses. Hebrews 3 verses 1 to 6. 9. The law of Moses still keeps them under the veil, but when the time has come, the time of Jesus, we are freed. 2 Corinthians 3 verses 1 to 18. And many more. That the law was designed for criminals. 1 Timothy 1 verses 9 to 11. Thank you for listening here in Bible Solutions 101. Feed your mind, nourish your spirit. To keep you updated on our new uploads, click the subscribe button. Share also our video for the glory of God, for the time is at hand. Have a nice day, everyone, and may God bless you wherever you are. See you in my next video.